Hello. So, yeah, I'm redoing chapter three. Um, I had posted it on Facebook Live last night and I could not port it over to YouTube. So I am doing it again. And I'm still getting used to this new interface. So bear with me. Um, we are listening to um, a novella that I wrote in 2014 called The Mouse Ate My Money, Volume 1. And it is basically a travelogue of a trip to Walt Disney World. And we are on the third chapter, and it is entitled, Look, It's a Boy Bat. After a relaxing lunch, we are off to Kali River Rapids. This is a whitewater rapids ride, and I can use some cooling off if you know what I mean. The mouse has a rule that you have to wear shoes at all times, but this ride will get you wet, really wet. This could be really refreshing on a hot day, but honestly, I don't want to be tsunami soaked in my shoes. It's this weird phobia I have. You see, I hate getting my feet dirty. I hate walking in wet, squishy shoes or wearing wet socks. It makes me nuts. So since I can't take my shoes off, I came prepared. I brought plastic grocery bags to tie around my shoes like some kind of demented surgery scrub booties. Roger just looks the other way and pretends he doesn't know me. I realize I'm a huge dork with bags on my feet, but they will be dry. Does everyone get soaked on this water ride? Frankly, it's a crapshoot. Two previous times I went on this ride, I never got that wet. I told everyone in the boat this. I told everyone in the boat this, which provokes a strange reaction from Roger. He is now bouncing around, yelling that I jinxed it. He was trying to explain to me the mystical man thing known in baseball as streaks, and how if you have a streak going, you never talk about the streak or you'll jinx it. I guess it's like Fight Club. I don't know. I told him, honey, you're talking about men that never change their underwear if they think it's lucky. I ignore him, tie the plastic bags around my shoes, and off we go. I'm sitting next to a nice lady with most of the men on the other side of the raft. Since the raft is free floating, when it spins and starts downhill, usually the heavier side is the one that's headed down. I tell the lady, since all those burly guys are sitting opposite us, we should be fine. Roger starts yelling about the man jinx thing again. I continue to ignore him. I should have listened more closely to the man mystery. I mocked it, and I paid. The first small dip down a slight incline would get some splash, but it wasn't bad. Once we lined up for the big hill, I was feeling very smug. As I predicted, the heavier side of our tube with all the men was heading backwards towards the hill. I felt all full of myself until the unthinkable happened and our tube spun at the last possible minute, and guess who is facing backwards now? Yep, me and the nice lady who trusted me. Oh, and did I mention she was with her little daughter? No? Well, she was. We were pounded by the oncoming tsunami of water that hit us from behind. As if that wasn't bad enough, to add insult to injury, that wall of water slid under my rear end. Roger is laughing his tail off with his newfound brawny buddies on the other side of the round raft. They are laughing away in relatively dry smugness. I hate him. I am now soaked. I look like a drowned rat. I imagine this is how cats feel, except for tigers who love the water. I stagger off the ride, squeezing out my shorts as best I can, and to make matters worse, small streams of water appear to be coming from my crotch. Great. Now the people behind me think I'm peeing in the middle of the walkway. Up on the upside, at least the plastic bags kept my shoes and socks dry. In an effort to keep me from having a mental breakdown over my soaked clothes, We stop at an outdoor bar to get a refreshing beverage. Roger keeps telling me that only women like the bossy little rat that won't shut up, as he's taken to calling pal Mickey. And if any couple has one and the man is carrying it, it was the woman's idea to buy it. This sounds like a challenge to me. As luck would have it, right in front of us is a couple with a pal Mickey. I asked them whose idea it was to buy him. It was hers. She loves pal Mickey. Her long suffering husband has that "I hate the bossy little rat, but I won't say that out loud or there will be no lovin' tonight" expression. He and Roger exchanged sympathetic looks. Now we head over to the Maharaja Jungle Trek so Roger can look at tigers. He's like a little kid when it comes to tigers. I think he would try to figure out a way to smuggle a tiger home if we had enough room. I remind him to remember poor Roy of Siegfried and Roy fame. Roy loved those cats like his own kids. They still have big teeth and claws, and even though the tiger didn't mean it, well, poor Roy. We are small, squishy monkeys next to those giant kitties with all of their armament. After a few minutes or hours, it's hard to tell when you're looking at tigers, we move next door to look at the bats. Technically, they're Malaysian flying foxes. They are very large bats that look like foxes with wings and are kind of cute, actually. Well, here's where the theme of this vacation presents itself in stunning clarity. In front of my petite pouty face, I see a large bat hanging from his branch. Since bats are nocturnal feeders, they're not very active during the day for the most part. This one decided to stretch and, gee, that's a boy bat. Yep, sure is. And boy, is he an impressive specimen of Batmanhood. I can see the men in the crowd looking a bit uncomfortable with the comparison. As if this exhibition of bat pride wasn't enough, now it's time for his morning bath. A little girl asks her daddy why the bat is licking himself. I quickly retort, because he can. As soon as that left my lips, I remembered where I was. Everyone turns and looks at the gal on the scooter like I was on a day pass from the lunatic asylum. Hey, I'm not the one licking my privates in public. I just answered a question. I tried not to run over too many toes, beating a hasty retreat. Roger pretended not to know me again. I think that's another running theme. After that embarrassment, Roger wants to take a spin on the thrill ride Dinosaur before heading back to the hotel for a swim. As I take the cart of doom into the building, I discover firsthand that the turning clearance is not what it should be. I maneuver through the queue, navigating the twists and turns like a champ, and was feeling elated until I entered the boarding area. The turns were very tight, and I panicked. I had to back up and attempt a three-point turn. This is a risky business when I'm in a car, let alone a large motorized scooter. I know. Danger, danger, Will Robinson. I came up short and then bam, I hit the wall. There is now a 4-inch chunk of drywall missing where I slammed into it at warp speed. I thought I would die of shame. It didn't help that the sound of the collision caused quite a bit of notice from the peanut gallery. The children were craning their necks to see where the sound came from. The women were oblivious, and the men in line were laughing their asses off. I gathered the tattered shreds of my dignity, leave the scooter, and ride the stupid ride. As our ride vehicle speeds through the prehistoric landscape, my brain cycles through various revenge plots to get back at everyone who laughed at me. Most scenarios involve me tossing my tormentors to the dinosaur, which in this case aren't real. Once we hit the spot where the large, scary dino jumps out at you and the mouse captures a picture of your terror, I hold pal Mickey up by Roger's face. He never knows until we see our picture on the way out. See, that'll show him. Did I mention I also hit the elevator on my way out of that building? I am really a menace to society on this thing. After all this excitement, I'm exhausted and just want to head back to the buses. We drop off the cart of doom before I injure too many people and I get my $10 deposit back. I don't think I'm allowed to operate machinery ever again. I am convinced with all the cameras they have at the park, security has been notified of my inept driving skills. I think from here on out, I will just take it slow and hobble along sans motorized transport. We grab dinner, head back to our hotel, and get to the room so I can fall into bed and die. Before falling into oblivion, I glance down at my pants, and my mouth falls open in shock. I realize that I've had my fly open since I left the ladies' room after dinner. Wow. I walked around a hotel, went to their bar, made a tour through a lit gift shop, and my fly was open the entire time. My day just keeps getting better. Roger just snickers. Note to self. Bonus points for remembering to wear knickers this morning. Going commando would have been really bad. However, that was just the beginning. So that is it for chapter 3. We will be back tomorrow with chapter 4. Now, I should say a little something about Animal Kingdom and the ride dinosaur. It sucks ass. It's really, really bad. I mean, it's not Superstar Limo in the original DCA bad, but it's still pretty bad. It's the construct of it with the ride vehicles is a little like Indiana Jones done on the cheap in Yugoslavia with outdated technology from Siberia. It's just bad, and it's jerky, and it's hot and humid and very dark. Now, I understand that the animators are trying to go for the ambiance of, the late Jurassic or wherever it was when the meteor hit. But as we all know, when the meteor hit the Earth, it wasn't like the dinosaurs went extinct like that. Okay, it took a while. But in the ride, you're supposed to go back in time and rescue some dinosaur right before, and the meteors are coming down, and it's bad. And what's really sad is that the animatronic dinosaurs are really good, but it is so dark inside that it's hard to see them, which is really unfortunate. It was originally called Countdown to Extinction. And when Eisner had the stupid idea of pouring his money into Dino Land USA as opposed to building Beastly Kingdom, like he should have, this was the big ride anchor for that little land within Animal Kingdom. And when he did a really, really bad movie called Dinosaur, which no one's probably seen, and that's good because it sucked, they changed the name of the ride from Countdown to Extinction to Dinosaur, even though it has nothing to do with the movie at all, except there are dinosaurs in it, because Eisner is an ass. So they renamed it, and it didn't help anything. The whole land just kind of sucks. But it's okay, because for our next chapter, we're going to be going to Epcot, my favorite park. So from District 1 to all of the other districts out there in Panem, have a nice evening, and may the odds be ever in your favor.